Lift.
Live.
Welcome to Jamstack Pirates, a rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Jamstack Islands with Queen Raae. I'm your host, Captain Uwe, and today is the great and powerful pirate princess.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Good one. So, can you pull up our little tasker bell? Oh, and put yourself in the middle of the screen or in the camera. There we go. I just have to
What
fix
are we
my hair.
doing today?
We're going back to Gatsby Root. Oop, oop, oop.
Down in Africa, go back to the roots. Na, 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 na.
So Gatsby actually released a new release. I think it was last week, and they released a new Gatsby source plugin tutorial. So they are back in business after being bought by Netlify. So anyway, that's not the reason why we're doing it. Since I now have a job without Seta, and since we are doing DevRel work for Seda, and we now have friends on the internet, it's time to add some disclaimers to our website. So whenever I write a post about Outseta, it should say on the top that Queen Raae works for Outseta. And whenever we write about Seda, it should say, we have done projects with Seda in the past, or we're doing projects with Seda, and so forth. So I have created some disclaimers. And what we're going to try to do is then get the disclaimers onto, so we have our Gatsby email nodes, and then we want our disclaimer nodes attached to the correct email nodes. And why? Because we need disclaimers, like I said. And why do we want to do it on the node level? It's because I want to both showcase the information on our website, but also in the RSS feed. So then it's better to do this logic on a node on the data layer level of Gatsby, so connecting nodes, because then we have that information both when we're querying the nodes for our RSS feed and when we're querying our nodes for our website. So we'll see how far we come today. I'm hoping we at least get the disclaimers attached to the email node, and then maybe we'll have to use them in the next treasure hunt. So
we're starting a next treasure hunt now. It's no longer the Jamstack.
The Jamstack Pirate treasure.
Just kidding.
Anyway, so
it's not next. We're not doing next.
Oh, now I get your. we're not doing next.
It was a joke.
No next for me. We'll see how long I can keep that up.
Yes.
But let's add to stream.
Did you say the Y too? Yes, you did.
Yes.
Good.
So I have created some. Let's bump this up. I've created a brand.
Is this a new graphical, or is this just something you did?
No, this is the new graphical. So graphical explorer. It's very confusing.
Pink.
Yeah, but it's very confusing when you're used to the old one. Anyway. So here we are. So we have I've sourced a YAML file of disclaimers. So here's our YAML file of disclaimers. And I've sourced them in here, and they are called brands YAML. It's the node name or the node type, because it's a file named brands, and then the array here is then converted into nodes. And that happens because of the Gatsby transformer YAML. So I didn't write any code for this. I used the Gatsby source file system, and then I used the Gatsby transform YAML, and it transformed my my disclaimers into disclaimer nodes. And
it's just a plugin.
Yeah, so those are these are like some of the foundational plugins from Gatsby. And then I've used a slug because I know that for my tags, I have a label and a slug, but the slug is always, the best one to use. So you can see here on this email, I've now searched on SATA, so we're only getting the SATA ones. But so I have back to everyday life in this week's schedule, and SATA is mentioned here with the label. So what I would like to see is that in addition to tags, I would like to be able to do disclaimers.
Oh yeah.
And then be able to kind of get the disclaimer, like an array of disclaimers here. That is kind of the end goal. And I haven't done this pre-stream, so this is an exploratory stream where we're going to figure out how to do that.
We like it.
And one of the ways, so if we go to the Gatsby documentation, what we want to do is we want to mess with the schema. So this is one of the things that I really enjoy with Gatsby is that we have a schema for our all our data. And you can see the schema if you go into the docs. That's kind of the schema that has been generated for us. If we go to query, and then I think, isn't it in here where we used to have a search? I am so confused. You can't change things on me. I'm over 40. It just confuses me.
Sorry, what did you say about over 40? And the pirate princess was talking to me.
Over 40, you can't change things on me because I get confused. Oh, here we have. There was the search. Okay. So the search, if we go to, for instance, email here, you can see that I have a node type of email, then that will always have a slug, an author, title, tags, emoji, HTML, description, date, and OG image. So this is kind of what I really like about Gatsby is that you have a very structured data layer that you then can play with. So what we want to do is that we want to kind of add, the disclaimers to our email node type, I think. And one way, the good way to do it, when you know you have all the data, you can just use this these type definitions without any like here you can see they have similar to what we have, where they have an author JSON type, and then they link reviewers to author JSONs they have a review in their markdown, they have a reviewers list, and then they use those values and then they link it to the email field on author JSON. But I remember from before, when I played around with this before, that if one of these are missing, so if doe@example.com does not match an author JSON, you start getting errors because you're trying to then query for data that doesn't exist. So I think we have to make our own resolver and make sure that we either find the disclaimer or we return just an empty array. I think we're going to go for that way. And then we can use the Gatsby type builder, I think, which is this example, where we can add a field called disclaimer to our email. And then we will want it to just be an array of strings. And then we need to resolve it to the correct strings. So let's start.
Yes.
So I'm going to start by copying this whole thing.
Did you just kind of say how now?
Yeah, or at least my planned how.
Good.
My planned how.
I like it.
And then it's a little confusing with us because I've created, because we can have Ola emails or we can have Queen emails. So I think we'll just start by adding this to Queen email and then take it further. So what we would like to do, what would have been fun is that if we could just do a let's say this disclaimer here. Maybe we can try that. Disclaimer. So that should then be an array of brands YAML. And we can then link it from our tags, but then our tags are not just a string, it's a it's an object. So then they say we need to use kind of this format. So let's try that. So we then say link by, and then we want to do tags, lm match, slug, and then from slug. Let's see if that works.
Yes.
I feel like it's similar. So we have, no, because this is an author JSON, and then it goes markdown. Oh, because it goes the other way around.
So maybe we should do it the other way around then.
Yeah, so then I think it should be. No, it's from email. Yes. Keep in mind that in this example, the link of post in AutoJSON works by defining a path to a node because front matter and author are both objects. If, for example, the front matter type had a list of authors instead of front matter author emails, you would need to define it like this with lm match. So front matter type had a list of authors, yes. But we are kind of grabbing it the other way around. So I think maybe it can work if we just do tags slug. See, this is where I get confused. I'm not 100% sure.
Let's try one.
Let's
try one of the ways.
Link, then link by, and then we go into tags, and then we grab the slug, and then we want to match it to the slug. Let's try it. But as I said, I think this will fail anyway because we have incomplete data. So we have more tags than we have disclaimers. So it won't be able to match up all of them. Yeah. Brands YAML did not exist. Well, we do have brands YAML. Okay, let's remove this again. Then we'll try yarn develop and see if we have that brand YAML there. Okay, we don't have a disclaimer yet, that's for sure. Well, it's called brands YAML, so that does definitely exist. So let's try again, disclaimer, and we want that to be a brands YAML array. And then, oh, GitHub Pilot is trying to
It's trying to help you.
Yeah, but it's not. So let's do tag slug, and then we want to do it from slug.
All right.
I'm always confused about which way these are. Like, I just need to give it a think.
But you have only two ways, don't you? So you can just try one of them and then try the other one.
Now we'll try front reviewers, and we want that to be an author JSON. And we link by email. So that is the one inside of author JSON. So by, so it's the other way. Yeah, so by, it should be from and then by. Let's try again.
Yes, try again. I like trying again. So today I made a little bit of a labyrinth for Millie and Tilly, and that's why they're not on screen. Oh, hello!
So let's see if we have gotten and then we don't want to do all email, we want to do all Queen email. And then maybe we'll have a disclaimer on here.
No, retarded emails. No.
Disclaimers. Oh, sometimes with graphical you have to like
Yeah.
There, disclaimer.
It's there. Whoo! It's there. Na, 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 na,
Well, maybe it was
na, na,
easier
na,
than I
na,
thought.
na,
No, that
na,
can't be.
na,
That can't
na.
be.
What can be?
It's easier that it's easier than I thought.
Wow,
So
this looks different. I like how they were like verified.
look at that.
No, no, no.
So it works even if the information is
Empty.
empty.
Wow.
So
Huh?
that's kind of great because then we can just play around with connecting these correctly. We don't have to create our own resolver then.
All right.
And I'm sorry I'm clicking wrong all the time on this, but I am so confused with this new.
But do you see that they're when you click them, they're kind of verified?
Yeah. So let's call it
that
this.
is funny.
So let's call it disclaimers at least. And
Oh
then
yeah, okay.
tag slug. So this is where we want to do the LM match, maybe that they were talking about. Yeah, because they do the from, but they do it on the by. That's what I'm confused about. But maybe it works if we do it on the from as well.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah. The pirate princess is whittling wood up here.
Well, it's a good thing to do.
Yeah. And she just asked me, "Hey, can you saw this now?" And I was like,
Somebody's lighting. They're sending. I think somebody was opening the veranda door, and the sun hit, and then I got like a shot of light right into my eye.
"Sunshine boogie." You should
So
have a
it's-
cap like me. I can just turn it the right way when the sun comes in through my window.
I should. Okay, so now our disclaimers are not null anymore, so it's not finding all of them.
Oh, why?
Okay.
Because it's put on the S? No, because the L match.
Yeah, so it's not finding all of the slug. So then is it by? Should I do? Oh, it's LM match here probably because the disclaimer is also an object. So we go from tag slug to this one. See, this is so confusing. Front matter, authors, LMH, email. What is this LMH?
Element
Short
is kind
for
of
element mesh. This indicates that the field you're filtering will return an array of elements on which you can apply a filter using the previous operator. Yeah, that was super helpful.
It's kind of like regex, but not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be exact. Whereas regex, you can do like this, you can do like that, you can do whatever you want. But with LMH, it hacks or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Short for this indicates that the field you're filtering will return an array of elements on which you can apply a filter using the previous operator. Because at least when I do tag slug, I kind of got the correct amount of nulls, I think.
Oh,
If we go back to the... if we run this again, I'm pretty sure it kind of gave us the correct amount of... or maybe it didn't, because this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tags.
yes.
And it should only match... well, it's got 6 tags, and then we should get 6 disclaimers in the way because it's actually going through that whole list.
Yes.
But we are only getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Well,
Oh,
that's
there
correct.
are the
So
notes.
1,
Oh,
2, 3,
Inessa is
4.
here.
Hey! 1, 2,
Howdy,
3, 4.
howdy.
And here 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of getting the correct amount of it because it's getting all the tags. So in a way, it is getting... oh. It seems like it's getting all our tags slug. But then we want to
Yes.
get the brand YAML. So then maybe we do lm match here. Because our brand YAML, it's straight to our brands YAML have brands YAML as ID, and then it's got the slug right on there. And I'm going to refresh this so our disclaimer isn't red. And then we're going to try and redo it again. So Inessa and I both tried to become speakers at React Norway so we could meet up, but
Yeah.
unfortunately we were not chosen this year.
Yes. Yes.
So
That's life.
okay, so now we got an error. Yes, because now we're getting in cannot read properties of undefined. So we are actually now doing it correctly, but we are trying to get disclaimers and slug on things that don't exist. So that doesn't work. So we have to do it the other way. So then we're back to what I thought, which is we have to do it. Let's see. We have to do it using a type builder.
Yes.
So we'll copy paste this. But we kind of want to do the same, right? We want to go through all of our tags and then see if we can find a disclaimer. And if we have a disclaimer, we want to pass the disclaimer back. So let's remove this one and then head into our Gatsby node. And then in our type def, so what we do is that we take all of these strings, this big string that kind of gives a lot of type definitions, and then we can add on one that we are building out instead. And then I need to see where the schema is coming from. The schema is coming from our Gatsby utils. So we do a schema. And what we want to do then is we want to do this on the brand. No, we want to do this on the Queen email type. And we want to add a field that's called disclaimer.
Yes.
And then now, or disclaimer is now we can just let it be an array of strings, because this is a little bit of an annoying thing when you kind of match up nodes, right? We then get a disclaimers, and then that has an ID and disclaimers and slug and everything. Disclaimer. So it would be cool if we could just return this like an array of strings instead. So string.
Oh.
And then we'll have to go through our source. So for all of our source tags, we need to map through them and then find the we need to map through them and then find the correct disclaimer for each. So let's try this.
I must say something.
Yes.
Inessa says, currently preparing to give the same talk tonight at React Ottawa.
Yes,
beneath my desk.
Your talk seemed awesome. Can you it was something about web notification. Can you write down your title for us, Inessa? Because I think it's a really cool one that I really want to hear. So I hope that you
when people are going to do talks, I always advise them to have like one sentence which is what they're actually going to say, which is like the message that you want people to remember, and then have like, it sounds kind of salesy, but have a call to action, because you have a message and then what you're trying to kind of persuade them to is to do it. So first you have like the message, and then you have like the call to action. You guys should do this because blah blah blah. Here it comes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Breaking free from native, the power of push notifications in progressive web apps.
Cool.
That is
it
cool.
going to be recorded, Inessa, so that we can see it?
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. It is it is a good idea to do it in Ottawa. So he says, I'll read it. He says it's gonna be in person, so that I know. He says, I don't think so.
Okay. But
But
let us know if it does get recorded, because then I want to watch it.
yeah, and you know what you could do also, Inessa, which is you should not listen to it after, but you can take your little phone and record the sound, and you can send it to the queen so that she can hear it.
Oh
But you
yeah,
should,
maybe you can. Yeah, maybe you
yeah,
can just record the audio. That would be awesome.
but you should not listen to your own thing after, because it always sounds cringe to hear your own, you know,
Yeah, give it a couple
voice.
of weeks and then listen to it when
You shouldn't
you're.
listen, but the queen can listen, and then she can say, yeah, I like this, and maybe you should look into that. Okay, Lilian, stop. Kan jeg få telefonen? Thank you. I will now retweet us.
Okay, something is is not working.
Something is
so-
not working. Oh, no.
Okay, so what I've tried to do now is that on the Queen email,
Yes.
I've tried to add a field,
Yes.
disclaimers, that should be of type string,
Yes.
but it says that there are no, disclaimers does not exist on this thing. I might have to also put it into our type definition. Let's try that.
Yes.
Disclaimers, it's a string.
Hello. It's only me here. Then I will say, Inessa says, I really enjoy the sound of my voice. You know what, Inessa? I did too. I my almost hello.
Hello.
You're back. That's a nice surprise.
Yes, I love that. Why not?
What happened?
I don't know. It just crashed.
What crashed? The StreamYard?
Yeah, StreamYard said I didn't have any internet.
The internet crashed. Well, that's that's how it is sometimes.
Oh, I need to share again.
Oh, we're no longer broadcasting?
Yes, we're broadcasting. I just have to share my screen again.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
so now I added disclaimer as I added disclaimers as a field on Queen email. So now we're getting no, and we're getting nothing in our console log, which means that our schema build type field's disclaimer is not even registering.
Oh, but you have so much in here. Maybe you can take some of it out.
Well, then things start crashing. So let's not.
I see.
But maybe I need to add it onto email, which is the parent type.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to just add it to. Okay. Build schema object. Name, fields, author, type, resolve. It's like, well, let's try to go in here and just console log and see if anything happens. Let's do disclaimers. Oh my god, I just downloaded GitHub Pilot, everyone. That's why everything it's like trying to do clever things for me. Which
is funny.
Things for me. Yeah.
It's funny, but maybe also a little bit confusing.
Maybe a little bit. A little bit.
Can it turn it off if you have to? Or
I can. No, I can turn it off.
Okay. No, you don't need to do it yet.
Yeah, so nothing, it's not even trying to register, nothing is happening. So let's just try to make an easy one.
Okay. Yes.
So let's just build another.
Are you building something completely else?
Yeah, I thought I just wanted to try. So let's like try to add to email, and then just like call it test, and let it be a string, and then if we whatever happens, we return a string. And let's see if we can get that to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So we'll add that to email. So like test 1. And then we try to schema build.
You know what?
Email.
I just got a comment from Headspace Help on my tweet.
Okay.
You know what they're saying? Consistency is key. Amazing job. Oh my God, they love me.
Because you've been tweeting your Headspace journey.
Yeah, I think maybe they like that I'm meditating.
Mm-hmm.
That's the consistency. But maybe they like the consistency of my tweeting because I've been tweeting a lot.
Oh boy, I think maybe I just need to add an array around this.
Ooh, that would be smooth.
So here it says type def and it's an array, and the first one is a long string, and then it's an.
Yes. Ooh.
Okay, let's try again. That might be it. And I'm wondering if I can call create types twice, or if it has to all happen in the same call. We'll see.
I didn't understand that, but that's fine. Error.
Well, now
it's
something
active
crashing.
code 1 again. Oh, I don't like that.
Ow, look at that. Yes, things are happening.
Okay.
At least. So it's trying to tell me that these things are not. So let's do it like that. And then I think it was complaining that it's not on the schema. So let's try again now and see if it says that disclaimers are not on the schema.
Can I tell my story now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I made elaborate. No, that was fast. That was too fast. Why is it building so fast?
Look at that. We're getting disclaimers null again, which is a step forward.
Yes, we like it.
You tell a story while I do some coding then.
It's very short. I just made. So usually we have Millie and Tilly cam here where we have our two little squirrel-like rodents, Millie and Tilly, running in their little wheel. But I have made a tunnel labyrinth for them, and they're no longer where we can film them because they're in the little tunnel. So that's why they're not here. So that's the whole story. Sorry.
Okay, so I think I realized what is wrong because on the slug, I create the slug, I make it into like emails, Gatsby function, and things like that. So I should match it on the label, which it seems like I am lowercasing. So let's do the same thing, call them labels here. Label. And then in our Gatsby resolver, in our disclaimer resolver, we go through all the tags, we grab the tag, and the tag has a label, and then we can use that label and match it to the label on a brand's YAML. So we say, hey, grab the brand's YAML node that matches this filter and just find me one, because that is much faster than like find all, and we know that there should only be one. So find one brand's YAML that has the label the same as the label of this tag, and then return the brand's YAML node's disclaimer. And we do that, and we map over them, and then we return all of them. So we can just do in return up here. So did that make sense? So we go through all of the tags on the email, For each tag, we try to find a disclaimer that matches the label of the tag. And let's see if we are getting closer. And then I would like to just filter out the ones that are null because that would be better. Cannot query field slug on brand's YAML. Oh, that's up here because I changed it to label. But that's fine.
That's fine.
Oh, but our disclaimers are still null.
But it wasn't that good.
Well, it's good in a way, but why aren't we finding? Why is brand YAML node so log?
Oh, now I'm getting the sun in here. I don't understand how you did it because the sun is coming from the other side of okay. It was mirrored in the neighbor's window. I see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's print out. Let's do some console logging, everyone. That's what we are here for. So let's print out each label that we are finding to see if that makes sense. And then we can test this query in our graphical afterwards and see like where is the problem arising.
Yes. I like it. Yes, very much.
So, okay. Okay, and let's try again. We're still getting nulls, even though we know that I have a disclaimer for Seda, we have a disclaimer for user list.
Where's your console log? There it is.
And this is our issue because find one is an async function.
Dun,
bum, bum, bum.
How did you see it? Did you see it from the console log?
Yeah, because it says it's a promise.
Oh no! Pending. It's just pending. No.
Yeah. And then we have to do again because I always forget. So we want to do async inside a for each, which we tried to do last time as well, and I never remember what works. So.
Fikk du vondt?
Jeg har vondt i tommelen.
Fikk du kudda deg?
Nei.
Bra.
Det er bare...
No, because it's... Why do I never... I need to sit down and do one of your skill building sessions on this, because this is just... This is just...
Okay. I will read it. Are you ready? A few weeks ago, we were enjoying temperatures at above 20 Celsius. Right now, we're back at freezing temperatures. Summer is same here. It was snowing yesterday. Steven is here. Hello. He says hi. He says
hello.
Se lille, han skriver norsk. Hi. Hi. Lillian thought it was funny that you were writing Norwegian, Steven. It is funny. It is funny. Lillian is just...
Yes, because this is what the one I'm gonna return. I'm gonna return promises and then await all of them. That's what I usually do. Now I remember.
Lol. Lol. Yeah. So Steven, Lillian is not actually. They're not actually.
Jeg vil lese det som står. Vi kan sende med på norsk. Okay.
Han sier I Haha. Yes. Haha. So Steven, Lillian is actually not learning to read at school. Du lærer ikke å lese på skolen enda, ikke sant?
Jo.
Ja, men dere lærer bare bokstavene. Dere driver ikke og øver. Jo. Dere øver på å lese.
Vi skriver sånne ord på tavla, så leser vi dem, og så noen ganger så skal vi skrive fra eventyr som vi forteller, og da står det på tavla, så skal vi lese før vi skriver det ned.
Jeg skjønner.
Så vi øver på å lese.
Ok, bra.
Og skrive.
She is practicing reading at school, actually. And writing. Yes. She goes in second grade. Or do they call it first grade in the States? No, it's.
I think they start at 6 as well. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. So, and every night we read books if she gets to bed on time. And I read for her. And if she doesn't get to bed on time, brilliant, he says. Lilian, kom tillbaka!
Står det med?
Ja, se där.
Ja. Briljant.
Ja.
Briljant.
Ja.
Nej.
Ja. Se, du er ikke på TV.
Hej, Lu.
Hei.
She's trying to read more.
Haha.
Ja.
Briljant.
Jeg tror faktisk at det kameraet var litt annerledes før, sånn at man kunne se deg sånn her.
We got it!
Yeah. You got it to work?
Yes. So, I always have a little bit of a problem with looping with asynchronous functions.
Yes.
What I like to do is that I've mapped over the tags.
Yeah.
We're then awaiting this YAML node that we're trying to find. And then if it exists, we return the disclaimer. And what is then returned by this map is actually a promise.
Yes.
So we are no longer getting a promise for the node because we're awaiting it, but then this function inside of our mapping function. So a mapping function takes a function, and that function is now an asynchronous function. So what we're getting back from our map is a list of promises. And then we await all of those promises in parallel because we don't have to do this one after another. We can do these in parallel because they're not dependent on each other. And what we're getting back then are the disclaimers. And then I'm returning the disclaimers. So we can do return, I guess, just here, return on the promise all.
That's how we get. But I thought that when you did async, you did not get promise.
No, but we await here, and then we like the function around also needs to await this to finish. So if this was not a map, if we had done a regular for loop, it would actually stop and await in here. But our map returns the whole function before it's doing it. Anyway. I'm going to read up on this. I'm going to try and write about it in my email so that it gets clear in my head, because I always have to look it up, even though I know the technicalities behind it, but it's just like, it's one of those things that never want to stick. So, and then I do a promise all, and then all of these promises. So what we're actually doing here is that we are just kind of creating a bunch of promises. We're not actually executing them. We're not executing them until we say promise all. And then each of those promises goes out and actually does it asynchronous code, and then returns the disclaimer text. So I'm going to run it again, and then we'll see that we want to do one little thing.
You want to do one little other thing in the code after?
Yes. So we play it now, and we can see on disclaimers, we're getting null, and then a text, and then null. So what I want to do afterwards is that I want to filter. So I do filter, and then I want to filter out everything that I only want to keep what exists. Like if it's a null, I don't want it to be. And then I recently learned that you can just do boolean in there, because boolean is a function. So this would be the same as doing disclaimer and then boolean disclaimer, which I actually think is cleaner in a way. But you can also just shorthand it and put boolean inside of there. But
and what happens?
The same thing would happen. It's what it does. It says if disclaimer is true, keep it in the list. If disclaimer is falsy, then remove it from the list.
Yes, I like it.
And then remove our console logs.
And
what's
Vespos, he always pronounced it Boolin, like boo.
Boolean?
Yeah.
That might be correct. I don't know. In my head, it's always been Boleyn or Boolean.
Yeah.
Boolean. Yeah.
Bowling, bowling,
Bowling,
bowling,
bowling, bowling. And then again, we have to wait this before we can actually use it. So, disclaimers equals await and then promises all. Because this resolver is awaited, but since we need this before we go any further, we need to do that beforehand.
What is it Inesa saying here? First time I heard of Bolin, I mostly heard Bolian. Ah, yes, because
A Bolian. Oh, yeah.
Bolian. Yeah, because that's that's interesting too. We we can make up our own pronunciation. I learned that from a famous dude. He's dead now, but Thor Heyerdahl. He said that English is not the language. He didn't talk like that, but it's not the language of the English. It is everybody's language. So we can. He had a super Norwegian pronunciation. I can't even do it, but he
probably says like English. No, can I do the Norwegian next? I used to be able to do the Norwegian. It's not the language of the
yes.
It's not the language of the English. It's the language of us, everyone.
Yes. So what he basically said is that everybody can have their own dialect. They can pronounce it whatever way they like, and a lot of people do. So keep it up. You can call it Bolian, Boli,
or bowling, 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 bowling.
Yes, it is.
Not the best singer I am, but that's
it's more interesting when you sing it actually English, and also that's the thing with Norwegian. When people sing in Norwegian, it usually gets kind of cringy. Don't you agree?
No, I like it when people sing in Norwegian.
Oh, I think most of the time it gets cringy, especially if they try to be like rappers or stuff like that.
Well, no, I like it, but I don't like it when they pretend to be from Bronx and rapping in Norwegian. But if they do it, and if they do it in the Norwegian way, then I would do it.
Yeah, some of them can pull it off,
and some of them cannot.
Yes, yes, exactly. But we gotta finish off here soon. Don't you agree, Queen? I know you want to keep going.
Yeah, I just want to showcase it. I want to show it in the template.
Yeah, okay. Do that. That's a good idea. I like it. The template.
So then in our template, we then want to ask for and just look away from everything that looks weird, because I've been playing around a lot with this site, so it's not all good. So we want to grab the disclaimers from the email, and then we want to make sure that we ask for the disclaimers in our query, and it's on the email.
Yes.
Disclaimers.
All right.
Disclaimers, and then we want to just go through all the disclaimers and add a little aside, I think. Or I have this like little thing that I've used before.
Yes.
But let's just start with disclaimers. And if disclaimer's length is larger than 0, then we want to do an aside. And then inside the aside, so we need we've done that. And then inside the aside, we want to do for each disclaimer map disclaimer, and then we want to return a li maybe with the disclaimer.
So basically, you just want a little text field in every email where it says, "Oh, don't worry about this. I know these people. That's why I'm being so nice to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I like it.
But then again, like maybe, I just want it to be one, we have to do it because of Norwegian laws. Like if well, it depends because nobody has paid us at this point to write on my website. But by Norwegian laws, you have to disclose whoever is paying you because we might write more, and we do, because like when we worked on the SEDA project, we wrote more about SEDA because that was the examples that I could kind of get my ideas from
that we worked on. Yeah.
And then that will carry over to Twitter and it will carry over to the blog. So I want to be very, very transparent about those things because I've been surprised before by developers that I thought were like recommending things from the bottom of their heart, and sometimes you do, but it's also hard when you're getting paid. Like sometimes I just want people to know. And then they can take that into consideration when they read the content that I've written. And I know, and that we would never like write a glowing recommendation for something that we didn't believe. But I still think, because we can see online sometimes there are even free solutions, but nobody is paid to write about the free solutions. Anyway, so I just want to be very transparent about kind of who we know and who we've worked with. So even if they haven't paid for content, I just want people to know that we worked for them. So yeah,
it's a good law. More people, more countries should do that kind of thing, because a lot of the content you find these days is actually paid for, and you read stuff and you're thinking, yeah, he sounds like a nice dude, and then it turns out that one, he's not nice, and two, it's totally made up. They just like the dude that in Saudi Arabia, they had like articles about him. He was like not exactly feminist, but he was like women's rights and everything, and it turned out no, he wasn't. Yeah. So we're not doing that. You can pay us and we will pretend that you're nice, but we will also say he paid us. He paid us to be nice. Yeah. Should I see it now? Should it be here?
Yeah, so let's see this one.
Whoop whoop.
Disclaimers length. What is happening? Oh, because it was why was it null though?
I'd say that is not on the list.
No, but it should still be an empty array. Let us have a look in our graphical explorer. No, suddenly all of our disclaimers are null again.
But why aren't there like 4 nulls like it used to be? You know what I'm saying?
It can be because I added it to the email type instead of to the quiz. So it might be that we have to do it in both places. So I think we need to do like so. And then in my Gatsby node, I need to add it to Queen email. And then also do the same thing for Ula email. But let's just start with this one. And then if it's null.
Yeah.
So if there's a disclaimer, let's see. Well, let me just copy paste this one and add it. And then I'll refactor and make sure we don't make that function twice. But then I'll do Ula. I'm going to change this in a while so they're not 2 different ones. I was just testing something out. And I think also, when you get more familiar with the product, you also enjoy it more. So, working with the company and learning about it, you do enjoy it more. So now we got the disclaimers back. So let's see if we can go back to our email and have it work.
I didn't notice that Gatsby was actually coming with an update. I just saw the docs that Leco Arts pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
But did they actually made an update? What was it?
Yeah. They made an update. I don't think it was much. It was like a bug fixing and a little bit, but they're back on their schedule, right? So
Good.
I'm trying to find. I haven't been good. So this is going to be interesting because I have to remember to tag them correctly.
Yeah.
Here we have. Yeah, look at that. Seda.
Yeah, good, good.
And then Benedict is my co-founder. So then we just need to style it a little bit.
No, did it work now? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's just that it was very badly styled. So let's do
Oh,
class
the
name.
little tags up there
Mm-hmm.
was the disclaimer?
No, but there. This is the disclaimer.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And I think I have this border that I've often used. Let me look at my front page.
But should it be on the top though? I don't think so.
Well, let's just put it there for now.
Yeah, okay then. Okay. It's easy to see it now. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put like a little bit of a. Let me have a look. I want kind of this border. So let's go and check out what I did here on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this notice class that I can put on.
Oh yeah.
Notice. And then we do getting back. Now, where is the one with Benedict? There it is. Good. So then we have that one. And then in our little UL, we'll do class name and then space Y2. Space by 1. And then padding Y2. That's what it is. Space Y1. Padding 2. This is where Inessa needs to save me because I don't know my tailwind.
He's writing his talk now, you know?
Yeah. Is Y that way or that way? Yeah, so space Y. What happens if let's do 10 and then or 3 and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that made them go further apart. So that's correct. But then I also want there to be some margin then. Margin Y2. Why is there no margin on top of this?
I just have to say, I don't know.
I think it's MY.
Inessa is
there we
helping
go.
you. He's helping. Y vertical, X horizontal.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm here, he says.
Great. And so I did, but I did a space between the M and the Y. I do that sometimes. So there we go. And do we want to do like a list, a little bullet point so that it's on our list? So tailwind list, the style position. Let's do list disk.
Snotty sound.
I guess that should be on this one then. Oh, that wasn't pretty.
I see.
Let's do 4. I don't like that. See, this is the stuff you can spend ages on. Let's just do it like this for now. And then maybe add a little disclaimers on top here.
There you go. That's more like it. That's more like it. I like that it's more like it.
Class name. And then is it font bold or is it text bold? There we go. Then I can do space Y2 on this one. There we go. Disclaimers.
I like that little stippled line. Stippled. Stipple.
Yeah, I like it too. Disclaimers. Okay, so where do you want it? Do you want it at the bottom?
No. Don't change it now. Okay, put it at the bottom. Yeah, why not?
So we can put it, we'll make a new page section maybe, or we can just put it at the end of this. Put it on the end here.
Don't put it after all the links. Okay, do it. Yes. Put it after the links. Yes. Like that. All the best. Disclaimers. Great work.
Let's just do for your information.
Are we like
we are almost done.
This up soon? Yeah.
Yes.
I like summing it up. I like it. Oh yes.
FYI, to be transparent. That's good. I like
transparent that. Is good. It is good.
And I do. Oh, I want to get my little. I have a very nice. Do I have it in prose? I have like a very nice with little arrows that like.
Yeah.
I really want those. Will you be mad if I keep doing it until I can get my little arrows?
That depends entirely on how long it's gonna take. A data in the wild.
I don't remember where I have them.
Okay, I will say one thing then. I just made a pull request. That's my plug for today. I made a pull request on the Queen's on this site here. It's called Stripe Emergency Call.
Steven's ID. Steven Parker's ID, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It was?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He was like, you could do this for just Stripe. And I was like, yes, thank you.
This guy here, he also knows a little Norwegian. You might not see it right away, but that's actually Norwegian. He says there, hi. And that's basically what we say in Norway when Americans say, yay. He says, when Americans say, how are you doing? Norwegians just say, hi. And that's basically the only response you can give to that is hi. You shouldn't start telling people how you're doing or anything. And the Norwegians are a little bit introvert. But yes, it was his idea, Steven. I put it in a pull request, and we'll see.
I gotta figure out this arrow afterwards.
We'll see when the Queen gets around to looking at it. But fair warning, if she is slow, I'll just merge my own pull requests. No, I can't do that. I'm just kidding. Can I? Is it even possible? I can't, can I?
Look at this, and here's our Outsetta one.
Yes.
This is working.
Yes.
But see, on this one, I forgot to add Outsetta. So on this one, there, but like it's actually announcing me doing the work. So,
so that should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says YOLO.
Great. YOLO.
YOLO.
Okay. So do we want to do the summary?
Yep, we do. I just got to stand up for the summary. Here it is. The Tasker Bell. Yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to summarize? I just started refactoring. So why is this not working? Did I just start doing stuff that I'm not supposed to? Yes, I did.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
I'm stopping. I'm stopping.
You see, Steven caught you. Look at his comment. YOLO. 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 No,
okay.
No.
So on today's show, we wanted to add disclaimers to our post such that like this one. FYI, to be transparent, Queen Raae works part-time as Outsetta's developer advocate. Yes. And then we've added several of those in a brand's YAML.
No. You got to do the why. Why?
Yes. Why? Because we want to be transparent. So if you happen to chance on one of my posts and I talk about it, you should know what kind of relations I have with the company or the people. Yes. So I've even written here with user list, the co-founder is my co-host, and Affiliate, the founder, is a very good friend. Cloudinary we've done work for, Seda we've done work for, Etc. we've done work for. So we just want to be super transparent. And I should probably add Gatsby in there and be like, we have not done work for Gatsby. Because that is also important information. Anyway, so I added a brand's YAML.
This is
with
the how. You have to say how.
How. Now we're on to the how. I added this brand's YAML file.
Yes.
I sourced it using the Gatsby source file system, and then it's transformed using the Gatsby Transformer YAML plugin into YAML, now into Gatsby nodes. So these are all our brand's YAML nodes. And then what we wanted to do was then be able to grab the correct ones based on an email's tags and add them as disclaimers, an array of strings. So to do that, we had to go into our Gatsby node and do a custom resolver. So we are saying that on Queen emails, we want to add a field called disclaimers. And to create and we want that field to be a array of string. That's why there are square boys around the string. And then inside our resolvers, we take the source, which is the node that we are on. So we say on source tags, we want to map through all of the tags that are on a Queen email. So we say grab all of these tags that you find on an email. And then for each tag, let's find a brand YAML node that matches that tag's label. And then if it exists, we grab the disclaimer. We grab the disclaimer and return it. And then what happens here is that this is an asynchronous function, and it doesn't actually execute while we define it here in the map. So what's returned are promises, and then we say, let's execute all of these promises in parallel. And then when they're all done, we have a list of disclaimers, but some of these tags don't have disclaimers. So then we filter out the ones that are null. So we only want to keep the ones, we only want to have the disclaimers for the tags that actually match the disclaimer, if that makes sense. And then we return those. And then inside of our email template, then we can ask for the disclaimers here on the email. And then we use the disclaimer. We grab it here from the data email. And then we say, if they exist. And why do we want to do this? It's because we don't want this like little border box that we made if there aren't any disclaimers. We only want it if there are more than 0 disclaimers. So if there's more than 0 disclaimers, let's create an aside. We'll give it a title of FYI to be transparent. Then we create a list. We use a HTML list tag or element. And then we loop through our disclaimers and create a list element for each of them.
That was the how.
That was the how. And that results in something that looks like this one, where all of my disclaimers came into one. Or not all of them, but 2 of them. FYI, we've done projects for Seda, and the co-founder Benedict is Queen Raae's co-host on Slow and Steady.
That was the what?
Oh, yeah, but I need to write the co-founder Benedict. I forgot to write the name. So the co-founder Benedict user lists, because I'm not user lists. Co-founder Benedict is Queen. And then the founder, Affilimate's founder.
Oh yes, that's good. Yes, that you must have that.
Yeah, Affilimate's founder Monica Land is a good friend of Queen Raae, and then here I've written Queen Raae and family is responsible for the Cloudinary Gatsby plugins, and Queen Raae and family has done several projects for Seda, and Queen Raae works as Seda's developer advocate. And then I thought we can start making these, flesh these out, like maybe even give them their own page where we write a little bit more about the work we've done, because in a way it's also advertisement for us, right? So if they're like, oh, you've done work for Seda, what type of work? And then you can click on that on that disclaimer and then get into a page where like, oh, we made a podcast, we made video, maybe you want video.
Yes.
So I think it can be good from a marketing perspective too. But I just think that everyone online should be much more transparent about their affiliations with different companies. Because it's just the right thing to do.
Yes.
Okay, that was it.
Ok, Lillian, er du klar? Hold der og dra deg over. Ja, du må dra, altså. Du kan ikke dytte samtidig, da skjer det ikke noe. Kom igjen! Å, kom igjen! Ok. Oi, oi, oi. Ok. Se, jeg fant plutselig ut at jeg kan styre det. Se.
So we didn't add them to the RSS feed yet, but I'm just going to showcase how I would do it. So on, I have a serialize function here that I use with the Gatsby RSS plugin. And what I will do is that I will then add, I will add an aside object in here as well, so that to this HTML, so that we get it also on the in the RSS feed if somebody's using the RSS feed. Oh, Steven, we might want to interview you because our newest project for Cloudinary is to interview people who use Gatsby and the Gatsby Cloudinary plugins to see, you know, how they're used, what can be improved, and that kind of stuff. So I'll reach out to you about that.
Lillian vil si
you
noe.
guys, yeah.
Nei, det vil jeg ikke.
Å nei, Lillian vil ikke si noe. Ok. Ok, Lillian. 1, 2, 3. We did a Gatsby plugin treasure hunt.
No, we didn't.
With Queen Raae. And our guest was the Pirate Princess, a junior dev. They was not plugging. I'm sorry, but I have like the text here written down. And
but it actually was because I was working inside a local plugin. So
oh, you were.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I just didn't make a point out of that. Okay. See you in 2 weeks, everyone. And check out our Monday emails for other live events that we put on.